to talk about some reflections I have during my programs. And tonight, because it's night here, it's pretty late in the evening, it's 11. And so tonight I would like to talk about something that is very close to my heart, which is how to hand over not only our dreams and our desires, but our thoughts in general. Because if we become aware of our thoughts, we may realize that many of our thoughts don't even belong to us. They just come from acquired behaviors or past experiences or other people's thoughts. So something that really does not belong to us. And I think it's really important to learn how to release these thoughts from our daily lives if we become aware of them, of course. Sometimes it's not so easy to become aware of all these thoughts. The best thing to do is to just observe. And we have a continuous stream of consciousness, continuous stream of thoughts every single moment of our life. And many of these thoughts are just like passing clouds, but some of them bring a negative emotion or a lower frequency. And so we can get sad at a certain point, we can get irritated or angry or a little bit depressed, and we don't know even why this is happening. This may be elicited by thoughts that come from past experiences or maybe past lives, so for people who believe in past lives, or experiences acquired in other dimensions, even in our dreams or in our journeys through the night. So, I mean, there are so many things that happen in our life that some thoughts can carry some negative frequencies and negative energies. And it is so important to release them. And one technique I learned, which I would like to share with you tonight, is how to hand them over to the universe or to a particular figure, a particular person, whether that person is on earth or no longer on earth or never been on earth, such as angels or archangels, or in some cases we may have ancestors who have preceded us in another life, or ascended masters who had their experience also on earth, but who are no longer embodied. And so we can have one particular person, one particular celestial being or invisible helper we can call upon to release and to hand over these thoughts, saying that either we don't want them, or that they no longer belong to us, or they don't belong to us, but then we don't have anything to do with these thoughts. When I learned this simple technique, which is just very simple, we just ask. And when I feel, for example, overwhelmed by certain thoughts that do not seem to be real or to really belong to me, I just call upon my angels. I call upon Archangel Michael, for example, or Archangel Uriel or Archangel Zadkiel, and I ask them to cut them away or release them from my life or transmute them into something different. Or I even ask Metatron to change my thoughts so that my thoughts do not carry any heavy energy, and so I can immediately go to a higher frequency. And when I ask, I am generally fulfilled in my request, and I can hand over these thoughts and say, I don't want them, so they do not belong to me, and I have nothing to do with them, and they go. And it's very, very quick, and it's very easy to do. Nothing so difficult. And I see that angels are perfect to do this job. Whoever you would like to call, even your guardian angel, uh, an angel who may have no name for you, whoever that angel or archangel is, that particular angel can really help you release the thoughts. I have learned how to realize whether thoughts have a negative imprint. Is if, for example, during a certain moment, I start feeling a little bit down, a little bit irritated or angry or restless. And in these conditions, I stop and I ask myself, what am I really thinking? Why am I restless? Why is this happening to me? And even if I don't get a precise answer, I have learned to just stop and ask my angels to carry away or cut away or remove these thoughts from me. Because with thoughts come emotions. So if I release the thoughts, I don't even have the emotions. And if I start getting the emotions and I release the thoughts, the emotions leave with the thoughts. And it's really liberating because it is as if I just stop a kind of spiraling down phase in which you don't know why, but something is happening, maybe something that does not even belong to us. And then we start going down in this downward spiral, and we don't know why we get depressed, we get sorry, we get moody, and so it's totally useless because these things can be stopped if we become aware of that much earlier, before the spiral starts going down, really down. So we can stop them and immediately start feeling so much better. At the beginning, it was really hard because sometimes I came too late when the spiral was already down. So it took me some time to, go back. And but with practice and asking whenever I don't feel really very well, to remove anything that does not belong to me or anything that's no longer serve me, to cut these things away from me, I really feel liberated. And the more I do it, the better it is. And it is not always easy to remember to do that or to be aware, because in our hectic daily lives, sometimes we forget. I do forget. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. I don't know why. I don't even remember to ask my angels to help me or to support me, because we are so engrossed in what we are doing, and that we forget. I do forget, for example. But if I remember, I immediately feel so much better. So that's why I wanted to talk about this, because many of us have learned techniques to hand over our wishes, our desires, which is a wonderful thing, because if we have a desire, the best thing to do is to imagine already that we already have that situation, that job, or that person in our life, and that particular object we would like to have. And then we release this wonderful desire into the universe, with the confidence that the universe is going to take care of fulfilling this desire. And we can do exactly the same thing with our thoughts, with our weights, with the burdens we have in our life. Um, in a period in which I really had a lot of issues in my job, I really had a very difficult relationship with the business partner, very difficult. Every single morning, I remember I was visualizing a very useful technique, very useful exercise. And it was just me walking with a very heavy backpack. And then I would come to a point in which there was a kind of counter. And on the other side of the counter, there was this beautiful, magnificent celestial being who was there waiting for me. So I would go there, open up my backpack, and I would give him all the different weights that I had in this backpack, big pieces of rock, and each one represented one problem. So every single morning I would walk there, open my rucksack, and remove all these weights from the rucksack, and I would go back home, walking lightly and happily, knowing that this beautiful celestial being was taking care of these problems for me. I know that it sounds really childish and sometimes a little bit ridiculous, but I can tell you that it was so useful because it was liberating, because I knew that even if these things were really weighing down on me a lot, every single morning I could hand them over to somebody else, so that that person, that mighty person who is so much more powerful than me, with so much vision, so much intelligence, could really take care of these weights as if they were like, petty things, while they were so heavy for me. So I did not feel guilty that every single morning I would go there with these big rocks, solid rocks, and I would hand them over to him. It was really liberating, and I'm still doing it. Not every day, because fortunately now the situation is so much better. But if I have something heavy on my heart, I visualize this particular story, or I change the narrative. I may, for example, imagine that I want to be on a balloon, and if I want to go up, I needed to release some ballast. So I have my scissors and I start cutting all the different pieces of a ballast in order to be able to fly. This is another beautiful metaphor, for releasing the weights. So releasing and handing over, I think, are two very powerful techniques to be really to live lightly, to have fewer worries, to be able to breathe sometimes, because sometimes we are so overwhelmed that sometimes we cannot even breathe because everything is so heavy. And I think that especially now, in the situation of COVID, in which many people are still in a lockdown, or they are released and then there is another lockdown, and then there are the vaccines, and then there are delays in the vaccines, and then there are the new variants, the new strains of the COVID. So every single day we have this array of incredible emotions. And I think that releasing now is really important. We have so many invisible helpers who can really do the job, because we cannot hand over these things to our friends, to our human friends. They don't have, the power and the strength to do this job for us. But celestial beings, oh yes, they can do that. And so having these invisible helpers is so useful. So I think that we should use these techniques every single day for everything, even for petty things. Sometimes we get ashamed because we say, oh my God, but why is this so heavy for me? Shouldn't be that way, because there are much more serious problems in life. But these things are not really relevant, because in that particular moment, even losing keys or losing something, or having a little fine, or getting into a fight, verbal fight with somebody, can seem too heavy for us at that particular moment. So why not releasing these things to our celestial friends? They're always there to help, and they don't have any judgment. They do not judge us for what we feel, or for who we are, or for what we want. Um, they are just there to help. I always see them smiling. Whatever I give them, I remember that beautiful celestial being. Every single day I came with a rock, that guy was always smiling. And I was wondering, wow, look at him. I should be like him. I mean, whatever I give him, he's fine. We should be like that, but we're not. We are human, so we have some, limitations, and so I think we have to face these limitations and maybe laugh a little bit at us also, because sometimes we get freaked out for things that are not so important, maybe, but at that particular moment, that thing may seem so relevant for us. So whatever we feel, whatever we have that we no longer want in our life, or we really do not need, or something that does not even belong to us, that may be coming from our ancestors or parents or school, colleagues, bosses, media, whatever, social media, who cares? They do not belong to us, and we can actually release them into the universe. The universe is so abundant and so great that these celestial beings can take care of so many things that we don't even imagine. They're all powerful. Our power is very, very, very large, very great, but we don't believe we're powerful. So it is so much better to know that we have some helps, some, friends who can really help us with these things. And energetically, this has a great impact, because our footprint becomes a lot lighter if we have much energy, if we have a higher frequency, because whenever we are weighed down by our problems, we lose energy and our frequency goes down. And so we feel dragged down into this three-dimensional drama. And instead of, flowing in the fifth dimension with synchronicities and magic, so we can jump up again by releasing a little bit of ballast. And thoughts can be really heavy for us, because we don't know where they come from. They may come from other lives, other experiences. We don't even know. But I don't, for example, as far as I'm concerned, I have not really any curiosity about any past lives or other dimensions. I know for sure that I may have had other experiences. I have some ideas, because clearly I seem to be very attached to some historical periods more than others. So maybe there is something there, but I've never done, for example, any past life regressions, even though I believe in reincarnation, but I'm not really that interested. So for me, it doesn't matter where these things come from. I know that they don't belong to me anymore, and that I don't want these thoughts. And thoughts are so important, because we can actually change our lives with thoughts. So if we perceive that our thoughts are heavy, and carry some low frequencies or negative energies, we should not fight against them. It is so much better just to hand them over to somebody who is so much powerful. And as soon as we hand them over, they go. And so if we are used to doing this over and over again, we can really liberate our lives and live so much better. So these are simple techniques that we can use every single day and every single moment of the day. And I see that, for example, the more I do it, the more I become aware of my thoughts, and the more I become aware of what is mine, really mine, and what does not belong to me at all. And it's great. At least we can remove something that does not belong to us, because unfortunately, we're conditioned. We're conditioned by the news. We're conditioned by, other people's opinions and other people's judgment, or religion, or limited thoughts, limiting beliefs. So we are conditioned, unfortunately. And so we can release a little bit of conditioning and be more free, which is, I think, and be more happy. So this is, I think, is objective number one for everybody here. Because if we feel happy, people around us are happy too. So I think that happiness is a good indication whether we are on our path or not, because otherwise, if we are so desperate or then full of problems, maybe we are not going in the right direction. We may stop and ask our angels to show us the way, and to show us how we can really live with grace. Grace is a kind of wonderful world, like a ballerina dancing through life. I think this is important because we're here for a reason. So the happier we are, and the closer we are to our real path in life, whatever our destiny on this earth is, because I think each one of us has a different path to walk, a different objective, different reason why we are here. And so why not enjoy the journey? Because every single day can be a wonderful experience if we really become aware of what life is, why we're here, what we have to fight for, how to overcome our limitations, how to have more magic in our lives, how to communicate with the universe and with animals and with plants. Last time I had a program on Angel Heart Radio, and I talked about how to connect with nature and with plants and animals, something I really love. And that is another way, another technique to feel happy, because people believe that happiness only lies in perfect relationships, a lot of money, and beautiful objects, wonderful jobs and houses. Yes, absolutely. I don't deny that these are very important, but there are so many things that can give us joy. I walk in the wood, and a cat, a dog, and friends, and looking for magic in our life, trying to understand who we really are, which is really kind of archaeological exploration, digging into our minds and souls and hearts. I think this is magnificent. Or looking at beauty in art. So there are so many sources of wonder and of beauty and of happiness that I think that if we add every single day a little piece of happiness and joy and beauty every single day, through baby steps, we can actually have a happier life, because you add just adding a little layer, and then you add another layer. And maybe from at the beginning, we may feel that a happiness level may be like, 20%, maybe. But then if we add one layer at a time, we may get to 30% and then 40%. And one day, we wake up and we understand that we are 80% and that we're so much happier and so much lighter, and that our life has more synchronicities and more magic. And this can happen. This is not so difficult. It's just we have to be consistent. Every single day we release something and we drive away anything that is not ours, or we cut away or we remove even things that belong to us that we don't want in our lives, because they are not useful first and then they are not beneficial. So why having them? It's not use. So we can, give them away and be a little bit, carefree. Trying to be light and joyful. It's absolutely fine. And then if we are in this high frequency, high energy condition, we are more intuitive, we are more creative, and then we are also more willing to share things with others, to share our light, to interact with the universe, with what is around us. We become kinder to ourselves first, but also to other people. So there are so many benefits in doing so. So this may be one intention in the morning, for example, to be able to release any thoughts that carry a negative emotion or disempowering emotion, because sometimes emotions may not be completely negative, but they may be disempowering. Sometimes we say things to ourselves that are disrespectful. We say, silly of me. Oh, I should have done that. Sorry, so stupid. So sometimes we're very harsh with ourselves. So we can release all these empowering beliefs or emotions. Sometimes even beliefs can be totally irrelevant or totally useless or completely fake. Sometimes we believe, so this is stop believing in things that are amazing and especially about ourselves more than others. Sometimes we say, oh, you see, oh, you've never been able to do that, or it's never enough for you, and blah, 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 blah. So we know, because we start, it's like a down spiral. It's just never ending. So I think we better stop, because is this really useful? Is this going to change anything? No. So it is only, making us feel horrible and not happy. So it has no use. So probably that this is something we acquired from, the educational system in which we were, or the upbringing we had in the family, or whatever. So, it's not really useful. It's so much better to hand all these thoughts, all these disempowering beliefs and emotions to some powerful being of light, and that can transform these thoughts into something positive for us, and then so we can walk lightly through our lives. I think this is something easy to do. It just it requires a little bit of perseverance and consistency. And I think that if we practice, it becomes like a habit. Now it has become pretty a habit to me. Whenever I feel strange, I feel restless, especially. Restlessness is something that has always bothered me, because for no reason I become restless and I never know why. Now I know. Sometimes I don't know why, and I don't care. And I said, okay, fine, I'm restless. Something must have happened. If I realize it, okay. If I don't realize it, fine. Just release them. It's like, okay, but I don't need those emotions. I don't need those thoughts, whatever they are. I may not even be aware of the thoughts, but I know that something happened, because I was a minute before I was not restless, and then I become restless and nothing really happened. that I may be aware of. So even if I am totally unaware of what happened, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just take this package and I give this package to somebody else to take care of, because I say, please take it because it doesn't belong to me, or please take it because I no longer want this in my life. Even if it belongs to me, it doesn't matter whether it belongs to me or to somebody else. I just don't want it. I don't want to have anything to do with that. And these things just disappear. And then the more we release them, and the less we are attacked by them. And so we have fewer of these disempowering thoughts or disempowering emotions or beliefs, because the more we release them, then they become weaker and weaker and weaker, and so we get so much better. So why not use them? They are very simple, and they can be used as intentions, they can be used as affirmations, or they can use just as simple thoughts or just prayers. For example, please, Archangel Michael, cut away these cords from me. I don't want them anymore. Or Archangel Zachiel, please, can you transmute these energies for me? Maybe transforming them into energies of abundance or energies of beauty. So it's 30 seconds, just a small prayer, but they're always there to help. So if you just ask with your heart, your desires will be fulfilled. And I think angels are very happy when we ask to be released from these thoughts, because they want us to be happy, and they know that some of these things are so heavy for us, even if we do not realize. Actually, I think this is what I perceive. I perceive that they see us as we really are, as very powerful beings of light, but they know that we do not realize that, and so they always help us realize that. So they're so happy to show us that we are so much more than we believe we are, that I think they are like, they love that. They really love that, I think, because I see that they always respond very quickly when there is different interaction. That we, for example, if I want to be to have more energy and to have higher frequency, they immediately respond, more than with material things, more than with material desires. It's legitimate. They're even happy to help us have things that bring happiness to us, whatever that is, a piece of work of art, a beautiful object, a beautiful piece of furniture. They understand that, but I think they really relate when we are not really see our light, our powerful shine, and if we ask them to show us, they're so happy. So whenever we ask them to release these thoughts, because we may even say, look, these thoughts are heavy for me and I want to shine today. Oh, they're so happy to help. So why not asking them? And this is what I wanted to share with you tonight, because I think it's something so simple, but so important for all of us. So just try and let me know. Please let me know. Share your experience with me, and let me know how you feel when you use these techniques. So just, you can contact me on my Facebook page, Syl Ver, and so I can get back to you. Please share your experience. I'm very curious. So now, goodbye from Rome, and see you in 2 weeks. Bye.